right. Hey guys, this is Kieran Rodriguez here. I'm with professional boxer Nadim Salloum. I believe he fights at light heavyweight at 175 pounds. Please tell us boxing fans who you are, where you're from, and how'd you get into the game.
I'm Nadim Salloum. Actually, I'm fight at 168, the super middleweight division,
Oh,
and I'm originally from Lebanon. I fight out of Brooklyn, and I'm Lebanon's first professional boxer.
nice. How'd you get into boxing? Did you just decide to take the sport seriously and try to climb through the rankings to make a legacy for yourself, right?
Yeah, so I started here in Lebanon back in 2007, and 2011 I did my first fight, the Lebanese Championship second division. I won, and since then I fell in love in the sports, and I started to go to the States to understand how to turn pro and how to get into boxing.
Yeah, because I find that very interesting because a lot of up and coming fighters, especially where I'm from, because I'm from Albany, New York. It seems to be a little bit of a rough road to get into the pros, but I believe like once you get to know people and people can hook you up with like all the low tier level show fights that you can get yourself onto decent cards, then eventually, sooner than later, you'll probably be able to get into those bigger fights in the future.
Yeah. You need good people around you, good connection, a good coach, good manager, and it's a rough road. It's very tough, especially for a Lebanese fighter. But if you want something, you can make it happen.
Yeah, because I really do like watching you fight. Because I think like the problem with the sport of boxing is that not a lot of people give every fighter the spotlight, and people just focus on certain fighters that they just hear from the mainstream media outlets, and then the alternative media, like myself or other, good up and coming rising channels on YouTube, like break down fighters' abilities and like compare and contrast their strengths and weaknesses to other fighters to determine how their career could possibly go down.
Yeah, most of the people know boxing. It's all about money, so money talks. So whoever brings money to the table, they're gonna put them on the show and they're gonna make the interview with them. So sooner or later, they cannot deny us forever. We're gonna be on the top of the sport, but it will take maybe a little bit more time than other fighters because I'm from Lebanon and because of some people in the state they don't know where is Lebanon yet. So
Yeah, and I like watching foreign fighters from other parts of the world because I'm like more heavily connected with American fighters, especially with Black American fighters. But
yeah,
whenever I do see foreign fighters that have that high level status to compete with those with those big names in their own divisions, I can't deny their skills and talents, and I think people like yourself really need to be talked about more because if you got the skills, then you got to get put on those bigger showings. People can't duck you.
yeah. I know. No, they can't, and I'm sure like within a year or 2 years, maybe after my 10th and 11th and 15th fight, we can have maybe probably fighting for a title. That's my goal. So hopefully by 2024, 2023, I'll be a world champion.
Um, as far as your fights go, do you ever get I guess like certain opportunities from like bigger networks like PBC or Top Rank or maybe DAZN that could possibly negotiate certain deals with you? Have you ever gotten those offers?
Not yet. I got some offers, some fights as a test fights from Top Rank, but I need the manager. I'm trying to sign with a good manager. We have many options, so we're gonna see who's the best one to and who fits my career, who takes me to another level. So when you sign with the manager makes the contact with the promotion. This is how it works.
Oh wow! So basically, you can't even like get like certain names in your division because of like I would assume like certain managers or promoters that have those fighters under their stable, and then
Yeah.
you know like I assume like in theory, if you want to fight David Benavidez in the future, you have to work your way up to get to that level through the
Yeah, you need a
WBC.
good manager to
Yeah.
build you up in the rankings too.
Yeah, because it just doesn't make any sense because it's like, there's certain fighters in these like sanctioning bodies that are ranked that nobody doesn't know, and it's like, it doesn't like really scale of like who's really good or bad, like like within those sanctioning organizations.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was also going to ask, as far as like your trainer goes, I believe your trainer is, correct me if I'm wrong, Jose Guzman, right?
Yeah.
Is he the same guy that trains Jose Vargas, right?
Yeah, he's the trainer of Jose Vargas, yeah.
Yeah, because I follow this other YouTuber by the name of Kano Loco Sports, if you know him, and he's connected with Jose
He's
Vargas.
Puerto Rican?
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
Puerto
I
Rican.
know him.
Yeah,
Yeah, I know him.
yeah. So do you I assume like get a lot of work in with guys like Edgar Berlanga and sparring, or like whoever that may be known.
Last training camp I was supposed to spar with Edgar, but he was out of Orlando, and he was too big for me. He was like 190 maybe, and I was fighting 168. But I had really good work with in Orlando with really good pros, really good upcoming fighters. It's like one of the best camps I ever had was the last one in Orlando. Was great, and the sparring was really tough.
Nice. Do you see yourself being a I guess like a bigger threat to other people in your division? Because it seems like the problem with the sport of boxing is that when we the fans call for bigger fights down that road, a lot of people don't want to talk about those fights that actually need to happen, and it seems like people like to mismatch certain matchups with fighters that are on the come up, I would say, that should be fighting tougher opponents, but sooner than later, they just end up fighting guys that are not on their skill level.
Yeah. I believe everything, like, I'm gonna make it step by step, one step at a time, one round at a time, one fight at a time. So my main goal is to keep building up, and whoever is the champion, my main goal is my dream is to be the world champion. So whoever is the champion, I'm gonna fight him. I'm gonna take the belt home.
Definitely. I definitely want to see you unify all the belts and become undisputed.
Okay, the super middleweight division is a bit weak right now, so we need someone to shook it up.
What's your thoughts on the super middleweight division with guys like David Benavidez, Canelo, anybody else?
Canelo is my favorite fighter for now, this era. But David Benavidez, I don't know yet. I want to see him with tough opponents. But I don't think he has a chance with Canelo. I mean, we all have a chance, but I think Canelo is just on a different level right now.
Yeah, because I think otherwise, but I definitely respect your point of view. I definitely want to see everybody battle tested, because when we talk about the best fighting the best, it should be every single day.
Me too, 100%.
Yeah, because I hate it when people try to criticize other fighters on trying to call for the best fights, but then when they play the double standard of fighters that are not choosing to fight the best fights, it kind of throws off it throws off like the interest of making those big fights happen, because people have this uh, um, back and forth argumentation over it. But
You're right.
But I also wanted to ask, as far as your amateur career goes, have you ran into any big names in the amateurs before you walked into the pros?
I fought the amateurs in Lebanon, so we don't have any pros in Lebanon. So no.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like nobody, like you never ran into like any. Oh, geez, that's crazy.
Yeah. I sparred with a lot of good people, but not in the amateur. I sparred Dimitri Bivol, I sparred Victor Postol, I sparred Anthony Sims. I sparred a lot of good names, but amateur, no. In Lebanon, we don't have pros, we don't have good boxing at all.
No national team to make it to the Olympics either.
Nah.
Dang.
It's a weak country in sports, yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we're trying to make a change. We're trying to build it up a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. Because I'm Puerto Rican, and Puerto Ricans are really good at boxing, but it's just like,
Yeah.
like when you compare the pros to the Olympics, it's like Puerto Rico's like on that level because there's like not enough, funding into it. But
Yeah.
it's just like, for countries like Lebanon, it's like that's horrible. That needs to be embraced more.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask about like your fan base because it seems like that you have a really good fan base that supports you, and I wanted to ask about how did that start with like the people knowing you, and how does it feel to represent yourself being like the first Lebanese pro boxer for your people?
I mean, they wanted to. We all love boxing in here, but nobody tried to make it happen. They felt that it's so tough. The road is so tough, and our people are used to be comfortable. So they make it kind of hard to get out of the comfort zone. So luckily, I was lucky to have great parents who pushed me in, and I'm so happy to see a professional boxer, a Lebanese professional boxer. So they don't want to talk about Canelo, Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali all the time. Now they can talk about someone Lebanese, someone who comes from their country. So someone who proved that it can be done. So basically, my fan base, I have a lot of Americans, but basically they are Lebanese who lives abroad and Lebanese in Lebanon, obviously. So yeah.
Yeah, because I really do like your boxing skills. Not just to say that, as like as a casual, like I'm saying that as like a hardcore boxing fan and someone that likes to watch people's styles. And I think stylistically, but the schools that you've been studying from is definitely not something that people see out of other foreign fighters because
Yeah.
a lot of people don't understand styles in boxing, and styles make fights all the time.
All the time.
But it's like casual fans don't care about that. They just care about like what they see on TV, and then they just go with like, the last performance of that fighter's fight, and then they just say, well, that guy beats that guy because I just care about that fighter, and I just want to
Yeah.
protect him to win.
Yeah.
But
You're right.
but another question I wanted to ask, as far as your division goes, is it hard making weight for that division? I believe for 168 or.
No, 168 is good for me. I'm gonna try to make 160 by the end of this year.
Do you believe 160 could be a better division to fight?
I wanna see if I still feel good. I don't wanna be tired. I don't wanna drain myself. So I'm gonna take it step by step. I'm maybe go down to 165 first. And if I feel good, I'll keep going down to 160. If not, I'm gonna stay on 168. I'm good on 168, but they are bigger, kind of bigger than me. I don't have a problem with that, but 160, I would dominate this division by easy work.
Yeah. As far as I guess the fights go, um, how does it measure when you beat certain fighters to improve your ranking to get closer to the world title?
Excuse me, how is it? What?
Like every time when you get into your boxing fights, like how does your ranking, as far as like being placed by sanctioned bodies, go
The
to improve
ranking is
your
on the
ranking?
box track. So the better ranking your opponent is, the more you level up. You know, last fight I was ranked 450. In one fight, I moved up 200. I became ranked 250.
Yeah,
So it depends who you're fighting.
because that's why that I asked, because I was just curious of like fighters that are on the come up. Do you need to beat notable names in order to climb a lot faster? So like if you beat Edgar Berlanga,
It
theoretically,
helps.
yeah.
It helps. It helps. If you're well known, it helps. So if you're well known, basically you're gonna make the money. So this is what matters for them. If you're making the money, they can give you whatever fight you want.
Dang, that's horrible, man. Wow.
It is
Because
what it is.
So
The
basically,
whole life is unfair, so you know.
so basically, if you got the pockets, then you could just climb as much as you want without fighting contemporaries.
Look at Logan and Jake Paul. They're fighting Floyd Mayweather, one of the greatest fighters of all time.
Hey man, if I could see you knock Jake Paul out, please go do it because
I can knock him out, easy work, but I don't think he'll be able to fight me.
hey, hey, look, Kendall Gill called him out. If you want to make a public call out to him, by all means, do it.
I did it a lot of time. I don't think he'll take it. No, I don't think. He needs some people who he knows he can beat, who can make money out of it. I don't think he'll take a real boxer. A hungry Lebanese boxer. I don't think he can take it.
Hey, and theoretically, if you do like theoretically, if that were to happen, and like everybody knows that most likely he would get brutally knocked out, and I believe that Stephen A. Smith would just come out of the blue and say, "Oh, who is this guy? This guy just."
They all say who is this guy? Even if it's with Jake Paul or not, they will all say who is this guy. Many Pacquiao, when he first fought in the United States, they didn't know how to back up first. And now he's the greatest. So he is still fighting Errol Spence. So some people have to give some extra work to make some noise, especially coming from a country who was like so far away from boxing.
Yeah. I was gonna ask for the last question. As far as your legacy goes, what type of impact that you want to bring to the boxing world of where you come from and how people should view you for your heritage of Lebanon?
Basically, I have two goals. The first goal is to prove to my people that they can do whatever the fuck they want to do. Whatever you dream in, you can make it happen. If you put the work, if you sacrifice, you can make it happen. It's all about discipline, dedication, hard work. That's it. There's no secrets. And for the boxing world, I'm gonna shock you guys. I'm gonna shock the world. That's what Muhammad Ali, my greatest, said. He's my inspiration. He shocked the world. That's my goal, to shock the world. Because they will never expect a Lebanese guy to be a world champion. They always expect Mexicans, English, American. No, guys, there's a Lebanese super middleweight who's gonna be a world champion sooner or later. And you're gonna remember that name.
I definitely want to see it. Do you have any final words for your fans that support you?
I just want to tell them I love you guys. It wouldn't be possible without my Lebanese fans. Honestly, when I fight, I feel all the energy coming from my country and home. So I love you guys. I'm gonna keep making you proud and proud and proud every single fight. I'm gonna get the belt and we're gonna raise in Beirut. I promise.
Thank you very much, man. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Nice meeting you.
Definitely.
Have a good day.
Yep. See you.
Yeah.
I'll catch you. All right. Thank you very much, guys. This is Kieran Rodriguez signing out. If you guys want to, please like, rate, comment, and subscribe. Please go follow Nadim Salloum. I'll have his Instagram posted in the video description. I appreciate having the opportunity with him. And that's pretty much it, man. Thank you guys for watching. This is Kieran Rodriguez signing out, and I'll see y'all. Thank you. Bye.